Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to welcome back to my community show. I forgot what I was doing, it's weird. But anyway, so this is a little bit of a different format for us today, as you can probably tell. Unless you really don't know what things are. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about something I've actually addressed before on my channel, but the completionist idea. Now, I am very, very much a completionist. I have some issues with not completing games, and I've had issues with that in the past, especially surrounding games on my channel, because a lot of the times I just get in and play it for you guys through the story, and then I end up leaving the game halfway done. But that bugs me, because quite frankly, I feel the need to complete things. Now, if you managed to catch my live stream yesterday, you will know that the level that I'm going into right now is the bane of my existence. But what I want to talk about mostly is completionist and how my life as a completionist began, so to speak. I have basically been a completionist for most of my gaming career. You know, it's the sort of thing I just really enjoy when it comes to playing video games, is to see those numbers tick up and see things come to a close. And Spyro, this game right here, the original one anyway, 20 years ago, is what really set me on the path to being a completionist. It wasn't, I'd say, the first game that ever really featured collectible items like, you know, the dragons and the gems and the eggs and everything, but in a way it somehow felt more meaningful to me, and in that aspect is what caused me to quite literally complete things. Now, I do have a few issues, you know, like I've mentioned before, I have a bit of a OCD issue, and that sort of leads me into wanting to complete things as well. But that's not exactly the entirety of it. I know I can't owe everything to my mental problems, as it were. But even still, I feel like that is very much does have a part to play in it. But even still, this game right here, this level right here, hurt so bad when I had to leave it yesterday because I didn't finish it. But I just couldn't. I knew I was getting worked up, and I knew my emotions were high, and that any good gamer knows that when you start to get really like emotionally tired, that you need to stop. You need to step away, because it's just going to bog you down. And that's one thing in my life as a completionist that has been hard to accept, because I just want to finish it. And like in this game, like yesterday, if you saw, I died so many times just trying to remember how I'm supposed to solve this. I eventually remembered after I stopped playing, as is natural, as is normal. But I did manage to remember how I was supposed to do it after just sitting there and thinking for a while. But that's one thing about being a completionist. A lot of the times, nothing else matters in the game until you have finished that thing that you need to complete. That's actually kind of why I separated gameplays, you know, into 3 different manageable playthroughs. Because one way is just to beat the game, just to get in, enjoy the story, enjoy the atmosphere, get in, play the game, have fun. Then I beat it for mastery, which is the completionist route, which is the way I much more prefer to play a game. But that way I can focus on the story and enjoy it without letting my completionist nature get in the way. And generally it's always my second playthrough, because I want to enjoy the story first because even if I'm not enjoying the story but focusing on the completionist aspect, I will still catch bits and pieces of the story, which means that my general playthrough, my, you know, just beat it to beat it sort of deal, is always tainted a little by foreknowledge of what's going to happen. And then my third playthrough, which is always the speed run, never really anything remarkable, but, you know, beat it to see how fast I could beat it. And like I've mentioned before on my channel, the best, like, most proudest point was I beat Final Fantasy VII in about 25 hours, and I was kind of proud about that. I'm not very good at speed runs, that's why I don't generally do them. But I always, you know, like to see how well I'm going to do. The satisfaction comes when you finally finally see that last number tick up. And then you really feel vindicated. Like, all the times I fell, all the times I missed that jump, everything, every single death, every single miss suddenly feels worth it. And like yesterday in my stream, when I made that first big loop, made that first big jump, Ash Creeper King, he saw me. I was giggling. I was ecstatic. I had the blood flowing and I was pumped. And the same with this one too, you know. I started out yesterday with almost 30 lives, and then when I got to this level, that's how many lives I had. And when I walked away from it, I had 10 lives. Significantly less. I lost most of my lives in these fruitless jumps because I just needed to finish it. Now, I'm making this video in part because I couldn't leave it undone, but also in part to let you all know that sometimes it is okay to walk away. It's hard, very hard sometimes, especially if you are a completionist like I am, to admit that you need to take a break. I love completing things, and like I said, I love seeing the numbers tick up. I love seeing that level 100% complete little signifier at the bottom. It's very satisfying to me. But I had to step away, because if I didn't, I wasn't going to be able to do anything else. Like, when I went on to fight Metalhead, who's the boss of this world, I was shook. To borrow the vernacular of the youth today, I was quite shook. Going into that boss fight, I just couldn't keep my mental capacity straight, and I couldn't keep my actions streamlined. I couldn't keep myself focused. And so I ended up getting hurt a lot, and I think I even died. I don't remember exactly for sure, though. And then I couldn't think about where everything was, you know, where's the hidden gems at? I couldn't remember anything. Ah, I made it. Happy dance. I was just focused on this level. That
was quite a ride, Spyro. You learned a lot since you were a young glider.
Yeah, well, you could have found an easier spot to get stuck.
Now, I've completed this game to completion, 100% completion, 3 times. I played them basically back to back when I was a kid. And I was happy to do it, because, yay. It just needed that completion. You know, this game sparked that in me. And every single time, I would always get stuck. Every single time, I would always get stuck on this level, which is why I always say this is the bane of my existence. This level is the one level that just always interrupted my flow. Without this level, I could probably easily make it through this game, like, in record time. Because I know where everything is. I've been everywhere. I know everything, and just to think about this level actually just kind of gets me itchy, you know? Do you know the feeling about being itchy? But I gotta say that this level is probably the most nonsensical level of them all. Because I don't remember for sure exactly, but I feel like coming into this level was like getting thrown in at the deep end. Suddenly, you're having to master skills that you have never used before. The whole tying together of two different run charges. And then you get to the end of it, and you never use those skills again. And to me, that's just a pointless little aspect of games. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but in this game I feel like this was the one and only time you ever have to do that. I may be proven wrong, but that's based on my fuzzy memory of 20 years ago, so forgive me. But that 100% level complete is such a satisfying feeling. And to see it tick over like that, just Now, I'm going to go on to complete a couple of the skill points here. Well, the one skill point that is in this area. I did that mostly to pad the runtime, in case I needed to say anything else. But essentially, you know, it all kind of equates to the same thing. Completionist is not for everybody. Some people don't like it, some people don't care. I know my brother, he's pretty apathetic when it comes to 100%ing a game. He doesn't care. He just wants to get in and enjoy it. And I can understand that mentality, too. Because prior to Spyro, that's basically how I always was. If I completed something, I completed something, and I was happy. But I didn't always feel the need to, you know? But Spyro and other collectible games, like, it's a feeling that I can't really fully explain, you know? It's just... It's kind of like if you have a pain, like if you have like a thorn or something stuck in you, and it's been hurting, and it hurts so much, and then you pull it out, and you finally feel that relief. It is essentially that feeling, and that's why I like it. It's like chasing a high, so to speak, but not in a dangerous way that could get you killed. Now, I'm trying this new format out. I've tried it before, and part of me likes it, but at the same time, I kind of like to be in the camera. Not because I like to see my face, but because I feel like it's more personable to y'all. You know, you like to see me, and I like to see you, sort of deal. I mean, I don't see you because, well, all I see is a camera. But I feel like it's more personable, makes me more relatable at the same time, and so I like that style. But I do also like this style, where I just talk over my gameplay. And if you guys find this one more appealing than my face, which, you know, I understand, then go ahead and leave that as a comment. But I am going to be trying to include more gameplay footage, more of my own gameplay footage in videos. But most of these videos are just kind of off the cuff, like me talking sort of deal. So sometimes I don't really have a plan for what I want to talk about. In this case, I did, because Spyro had kind of lent itself easily to the idea, being that it was the inspiration for me starting this whole completionist ideal. But if you don't want to see more of this style of video, make sure to comment that down in the comment section below. Or if you don't really care, you know, you don't have to say anything. Either way. I did eventually get this skill point, but I'm running out of time. So I'm not sure how synced up the audio is going to be at the end from where I am, because I am going to cut some more out of the video, because I only need about 15 minutes, because that's how I play. But anyway, that's all I've got for you for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, please go and poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave comments down in the comment section below. And tune in next time as we learn to talk about something else in some other fashion at some other time. And until then, good night.